So again, I apologize that we had to interrupt the work on the bellows, and I told you guys that as I was working on this Firescreen that I'd take you along and show you what's been going on. If you have been following on Facebook or Instagram, you've seen the production pictures, and but I thought I'd do a quick video for all of you YouTubes out there so you can see where we're at. So we've been working for a solid week on this bad boy, and this is our Firescreen. Now, this is probably one of the pieces I've done the most handwork to in quite some time. You can see that the entirety of the frame has been chiseled and punched. And now our Heron was all done on stake work. This is not repoussé work. This is all stake work. Again, this is a sample piece, so I'm not really going all out for it. Again, I want this to be a sample. However, I did bite the bullet and I went ahead and bought 40 pounds of rosin from one of our companies over next to Willacoochee, Georgia, and I'll be making up some pitch, and that's a whole other series to film. But I believe that I am pretty much ready to go with this bad boy. I think I'm ready to start assembly, but I've got a couple of nuances that I've got to handle. If you'll look right over here, you can see that we have a significant gap. Our piece is a little bit bent, and you can't get away from that simply because you're working it with the chisel. What will happen is that will go into this giant forge over here, and then I'll be able to straighten everything out. So before I assemble, I've got to make sure that all these bars are nice and flat. Again, this is a Firescreen, and the problem there is we've got to have a screen to it. Now, the good news is the Firescreen's pretty much its own separate kind of deal. It will actually attach to the back. We'll drill into these bars and we'll actually thread it, so it will actually just screw into the back with its own frame. So it's really secondary. It's kind of an afterthought to everything else. But once everything is nice and straight, I will then go about fitting everything. The only other thing I've got to assemble is going to be my cattails. So now, of all the traditional stuff on here, this is going to be the one place where I'm going to basically cheat a little, because what I'll do is I'll actually come in here and I will weld this stuff up, and I will use these as kind of a covering to hide the weld and then tack it in from the back. I'm not sure how you would do this traditionally. I'm sure I could actually fuse everything together and maybe use it as some type of rivet, but I'm not going to worry about that. Again, this is a sample piece and it's a week's worth of work. And unless you are disassembling it, you'll never know that there's a modern weld on it. So I'm okay with that. That's a good compromise. But one of the things I wanted to point out, and I released a video just a little while ago talking about tooling. There's a good argument to be made before you decide to build anything in the blacksmith shop. You actually need to get everything together to build all your tooling, because you're constantly making tooling for projects like this. I didn't have a square punch, so I actually had to make myself a new square punch. I had some H13 that I bought a while ago. Because my other punch was worn out, I made myself a new round punch. I've actually got a new drift. I had to make a new drift for making new round punches. So tooling is absolutely king. And I had to do some make-do tooling because we cleaned up and I can't find any of my power hammer tooling. So that's a little piece that I made there. So probably a good 30% of the work that I've done for my nice Firescreen here has actually been work done for tooling. And again, you know, I'm not a monstrous old shop. You know, that's one of the cool things about the really old architectural shops. So they got tooling out the yang because they've done all types of projects and they've got all the tooling left over from it. So, but anyways, well guys, that's the story. Hopefully I'll have some more pictures. If you want to follow along, again, it's going to be Trenton Ty on Instagram. I usually post all my progress pics there, but I've been trying to be good about posting it on YouTube as well. But there's your video. Guys, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend in the apocalypse, and I will see you guys a bit later. You guys take care.